गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Jnaneshwari, verse number 10, chapter 16, and here we are seeing that in the 7th, 8th, 9th verses, 10 verses, how the lack of discrimination between what is right and wrong, what is real and unreal, leads to desires, and for these asuras, that because they do not know the truth, they do not want to seek the truth, then now their only purpose is to live for the satisfaction of the desires. The more the desires, the more is they are successful, and they work hard to accomplish that. And then in the 9th verse, they are, and when one is after the desires, these asuras, they are ready to destroy the world for satisfying their desires. And now in the 10th verse it is said, kamamashritya dushpuram dambhamanamadanvitaha मोहाद् गृहीत्वा सद्ग्रहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रताः काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरं दम्भमानमदान्विताः मोहाद् गृहीत्वा सद्ग्रहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रताः. In the 10th verse it is said that resorting to insatiable passion, full of hypocrisy, pride and arrogance, they act with impure vows, holding false views through delusion. Dushpuram, their kamamashritya. Ashritya means taking refuge in the bosom of desire, kama, dushpuram, and there is no end to their fulfillment of desires. And thus dambh, man and mad, these are the three ways they come across. Dambh is the hypocrisy, man is showing off or showing what you don't have, but making other people believe that everything is I have this, I have that. And mad is false arrogance. And in this way, mohat gruhitva sadgrahan pravartante shuchivrataha. And due to these qualities of dambha, man and mad coming under their delusion, mohad coming under their under the maya of these, under the control of these, they become obstinate due to them. And in this manner, let's see what Jnaneshwar Maharaj says. Tari zaal paniye na bhare, agi indhana na pure, taya durbharanchiye dhure, bhukalu zo, taya kamacha volava, jivi धरुनिया पांडवा दंभमानाचा मेळावा मेळवीती मातलिया कुंजरा आगळी झाली मदिरा तैसा मदाचा ताठा तव जरा चढता अंगी आणि आग्रहा तोची ठावो. Oh, we did 5, is it? Okay, till 35. He says here, even as one pours water in a net, it does not get filled up, and the fire is not satisfied with any quantity of firewood. So the demoniacal men resort to lust, which easily takes the first rank among insatiable things, and which is hard to satisfy, and give it the aid of hypocrisy and false pride. Lust for what? Lust for satisfaction of their desires. See? And desire can never get satisfied. Desire leads to anger, or desire, if someone comes an obstacle, or desire leads to greed. And in this way, so the demoniacal men resort to lust, which easily takes the first rank among insatiable things, which is hard to satisfy, and give it the aid of hypocrisy and false pride, just as an elephant in rut becomes wild if given an alcoholic drink. They get puffed up with pride as they grow old. I am a self-made man. Whatever I touch, some people have the arrogance of, I've got green fingers. Business people, they touch something and it gives them returns in the money. They buy the shares and they become successful. It gives them a good return. They buy a property, it gives them a good return. They are very good negotiators, and all this they keep, and all that data they have remembered, collected all over their life. They have tricked other people, they have cheated other people, they have they have taken away someone's hard earned wealth in the name of business, etc., etc. See? And they get puffed up with pride as they grow old. Man. So they live a hypocritical life. So on one hand, they do all the cheating. On another hand, they show to the people what they don't have, but make people believe that they are wealthy, that they always eat out, they go to the first show, first movie, that they have the latest television. I know one person like this. And he has the equity in his house. Last 20-30 years I know him. 30 years. Yeah, from late 90s I know him. He has not worked. He keeps putting money in the share. He was building some program for the share market, this, that, everything from home. I was surprised that he's got a 4-wheel drives every time, and wife is not working. How do you survive, man? नहीं सब ठीक चल रहा है, बढ़िया चल रहा है, बढ़िया चल रहा है. And then what happened? Eventually I come to know, only in last 5-6 years I come to know, that as the market was going up, his house value was going up, because he bought it for $200,000-$300,000. Now that value of the house was 1.2 million. He has been borrowing the equity to maintain a lifestyle. And as of today, he made his friend buy his house, and he rented from his house, rented his own house, because he had no money. And after 2 years of living there, his friend said, "Hey man, market is going to go bad. I'm going to sell the house. You'll have to move out." And today he is living in a rented apartment. Why? Whom are you trying to show that you have the money, you have the wealth, you have the cars, you eat out? Today his wife has to work. I'm not saying she should not work, but why that hypocrisy? And we all have been guilty of that sometime or the other. And therefore, the asura vritti person, the materialist person means the one who is desire oriented, desire addicted. He wants to fulfill. I like this, I want this. Story over. And which whatever it happens. It may be his parents or her parents' money, it may be their friends' money. They will steal, beg, borrow, but they will get their desire satisfied. आणि आग्रहा तोची ठावो वरी मौढा ऐसा सावावो मग कायवानो निर्वाहो निश्चयाचा जिही परोपतापूड घडे परावा जीवू रगडे तिही कर्मी होऊनी गाढे जन्मवृत्ती मग आपुले केले फोकारिती आणि जगाते धिक्कारिती दाही दिशी पसरिती स्पृहा जाळ ऐसे निगा आटोपे थोरिये आणती पापे धर्मधेनु खुरपे सुटले जैसे. He says that when folly gets added to obstinacy, see, when folly means foolishness. When foolishness get added to insistence, obstinacy, duragraha, to obstinacy which is ingrained in their body, there is hardly any limit to their perversity. See? So these asuras, these desire oriented people, material oriented people, in their foolishness they become obstinate, and this obstinacy, that my will, my way or the highway, everyone has to follow their way. They will not leave it, even if good counsel is coming their way. But their lust for objects of the world, for good life, for or travel or food or house or clothes. See? Another person was there in India. He kept borrowing money from on his house. And every 2 months, new pants, new shirts. Where is the money coming from? He must have taken some from where, but he didn't have a proper job. See? And one day, after 15 years, 20 years or so, recently, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, the court order came, and the police was at the door, and they said, in 2 hours you have to leave the house. You have to empty the house. He had given the papers of his flat as a collateral to someone and taken whatever 15, 20, 30 lakhs, but that flat was worth 1.5 crores. And for the 20, 30 lakhs, he was living a lavish lifestyle, showing everyone everything is hunky-dory, new scooter, new clothes, latest phone all the time. Whom are we fooling? See, must have. And anyway, I'll stop there. So, uh, there is hardly any limit to their perversity when people get hooked onto this hypocritical life, when they hooked on to desire oriented living and are obstinate about it without any discrimination, then such a person's mind leads to perversion. Leads to perversion. They are from their very birth habituated to doing acts which cause harm to others and destroy their lives. See? Now that person's, what would have happened to his children? What would have his wife would have gone through? He was not at home. Only wife and one kid was there. In the well, she was working, and they had to empty the house of everything in 2 hours. Whatever they could, they took out. Rest of it, the court sealed the door after 2 hours, because he must have he must have thought, oh, they are just threatening me. That they are just threatening me. Never took the action. They must have given him many warnings. These are the Duryodhana type people. That from their very birth habituated to doing acts which cause harm to others and destroy others as well as their own lives. See? They look down upon the world and proclaim their exploits from their housetops. These are the people who say, everyone is under my thumb, under my foot. I know these people, I know that person, I know this minister, I know that judge, I know this lawyer, I know that politician. And just maybe one photograph here and one photograph there, and that becomes their sense of pride, and that they flout around everywhere trying to show to people, don't mess with me, don't you know who I am? I know this fellow. He's carrying the photograph in his pocket. And they think people are there. This is what the corporate culture is today. Chuso. Suck the employees out of all their energy. Say, one person was there and he went and he used to finish in Pune, in Bangalore. And he used to finish whatever work was there, he used to finish in 5-6 hours, and he used to say, 5 o'clock, hey, I have to go, man. But others, they don't do anything during the day, but they will sit there till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And the boss thinks, or that was the culture, that these people are working harder and he is not working. 1 or 2 times he said, take my resignation. I don't want to work for you. If you don't understand and don't appreciate, who cares? See? These people, these asuras have got no ethics, no morals. Mera bhi mera, tera bhi mera. Mine is mine and yours is also mine. And you must have come across in the workplace those who backbite or manipulate and try to be the important person, indispensable person within the work environment, but andar se khokle, only gift of the gab. They look down upon the world and proclaim their exploits from their housetops. They spread the net of their desires in all directions and go on increasing their misdeeds with great excitement, in the same way as a stray cow goes on grazing wherever it likes. Huh? One person was there. Now, last so many years, we come across so many people. In last so many years, almost 10, 12, 15 years, the market has been going up and up and up and up and up. But only one or two times it came down during the GFC, and then again it went up. This fellow has amassed more than 22 properties in Sydney. 22 properties. And all on collateral, in the sense on equity. Everything on equity. 10 properties, 20,000, 10 properties, 200,000. ओके, चलो एक और उसके ऊपर और लोन ले लिया, क्योंकि प्राइस बढ़ता जा रहा है. अभी क्या हाल हुआ होगा. But that insatiable rush, the adrenaline rush, that one more, one more, one more, one more. जैसे एक और गुलाब जामुन, पता नहीं बचेगा कि नहीं बचेगा, तो एक और खा ही लो यार. उसके बाद अरे बाप रे, ज्यादा हो गया. I should talk to that person and see where he is right now. So today's society, if you look at it, today's society is that more the desires, more you are on fire to achieve, more you are on fire to produce, the more you are on fire to create, to come up with creative ways of embezzling. That was what GFC was, of embezzling, tricking others. Then you are a successful person. And the world has still not learned that lesson. It's still going on. Especially the banks and the share market. And the big corporates, insurance companies. And that mentality has not come from them. It has started from those greedy people. See? And such people's desire has got no end. They never get satiated. They keep on and on and on and on and on. And what happens as a result? In the 11th verse he says, Chintam aparimeyam cha, Chintam aparimeyam cha, Pralayantamupashritaha, Pralayantamupashritaha, Kamopabhoga parama, Kamopabhoga parama, Etavaditi nischitaha, Etavaditi nischitaha, Chintamaparimayam cha, Pralayantamupashritaha, Kamopabhoga parama, etavaditi nischitaha. He says in the 11th verse, beset with countless worries that last until death, they become immersed in the gratification of desires, convinced that that is all. Life is all about satisfying your desires. Who knows what was before and who cares what will be after? I must only satisfy my desires. If I like doing this, I will do it. And today you will see the millennials and the younger ones who have never seen the hardship in their life. Throughout their life, their parents have provided. They have provided the money for education. They have provided the money for laptop. They have provided the money for phones, latest phone. They have provided money for all their. Why they did provide? Because one or two kids at home, and they are themselves working, and now there is a little bit wealth from the work that they are doing. So how to keep these kids quiet? Satisfy their desires, satisfy their desires, satisfy their desires. See, and these kids do not know, they don't know how to hear a no. They only go after, no, I don't like this, I will not eat this. I like this, I will. They will finish all the. They'll go after it. You must have heard in the business world, all the millennials today want to create an impact. Otherwise, they change jobs like this. If they don't make any, if I'm not making an impact, oh, this is a very repetitive work. I don't feel I'm making any impact in this company. Resignation. Now let them resign and show. See? Why? I'm not making an impact. What impact? Impact, only one impact. Our mind must be at peace. Our mind must be desire free. Our mind must contemplate on the higher. That is the impact. This impact what they don't like. Why? Because it's repetitive. They want immediately the result. They want to become a CEO within 2 years of joining the workforce. That's not possible, man. But it is not, I don't say it is not, but do you have that caliber? Do you have the acumen? All they have done is copied, made a role model, someone who's very successful in the business, who is a successful CEO, who is a successful general manager, who is a successful shareholder, share market, plays on the share market, or a real estate guy, and they want to copy that and make themselves into a successful person like him. Because he's driving a BMW, they want to drive a BMW. Look at all the teenagers. They have this big Ferrari photograph in their bedroom, or all the sports cars. Oh, I want that red one. I want to make enough money to buy that red car. And none of their dreams have ever come true. बाद में आते हैं खटारा पे. 7-8-year-old Khatara for $6,000 they buy. See? So here he says, where are we? In the 11th verse. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, याची एका आयती तयाची या कर्म प्रवृत्ती आणि जिणिया ही परवती वाहती चिंता पाताळाहुनी निम्न जिये चिये उंचिये साने गगन जे पाहता त्रिभुवन अणुहीनो हे ते योगपटाची मवणी जीवी अनियम चिंतवणी जे सांडू नेणे मरणी वल्लभा जैसी तैसी चिंता अपार वाढवीती निरंतर जीवी सूनी असार विषयादिक स्त्रिया गाईले ऐकावे स्त्री रूप डोळा देखावे सर्वेंद्रिये आलिंगावे स्त्रिये तेची कुर्वंडी कीजे अमृते ऐसे सुख स्त्रिये परवते नाहीची म्हणवनी चित्ते निश्चयो केला मग तयाची स्त्री भोगा लागी पाताळ स्वर्गा धावती दिग्विभागा परवते ही. He says here, Hmm. With this object in view, they conduct their affairs and also feel anxious about their state after death. See, the more you satisfy desires, the more there is fear that someone, you become a suspicious lot. You start doubting that every person is jealous of your success, is purposely becoming an obstacle in you satisfying your desires. Such a person never takes responsibility for his actions. He will always blame others, that because of that person, because of this person, because of someone else, I was not able to satisfy the desire. Never take responsibility that I did something wrong. No. See? The anxiety is deeper than the nether worlds and higher than the sky. In comparison with it, even the three worlds look insignificant. See, the verse was Chinta aparimeya cha. Chinta is about that which has not happened yet. And what has not happened yet? Someone has not stolen the house yet. Death has not happened yet. People have not become the obstacle yet. People have not taken away and tricked you yet. But he is ever worried that now that I have all this, people are all with a hawk eye, because he has done that to everyone to amass his wealth. See? And therefore now he is afraid that now that I have it, others will do the same to me. This is the Asuri Vritti. This is the nature of the materialist person. And his anxiety is deeper than the Patala Lok. And his anxiety is higher than the sky, which means his anxiety is unlimited. Eventually, it's a personality breakup for such a person. Just as the yogi feels anxiety whether he is observing the rules of yoga properly, so this unrestrained worry does not leave him. See, those yesterday's class, some other class, we were talking about yoga. The yogi, he is steadfast on his rules. When you are doing havan, home, puja, you have to follow the rules. You can't dress the Lord before you give him the bath. You have to give him the bath and then you have to give him the clothes. You can't do Archana, 108 names of the Lord, and then say, now I will give you clothes, I forgot, and now I'll give you water. And he's continuously anxious. He's afraid that he might make the mistake, that he might not say the mantra correctly. Simple thing, when you're offering ahuti in the home or you're offering the flowers to the Lord, you never throw the flowers like this. It is a no-no. Then how do you do it? You do it in this manner, as an offering. This is throwing. If you don't know, ignorance is bliss. Now you know, you will be careful next time. See? Similarly, the yoga, should I breathe in when I am taking a posture, or should I be breathing out when I am taking a posture? What mantra should I be chanting at that time? When I am doing Surya Namaskar, what mantras have to go? When I am doing the Sandhya Vandan, what mantras? Have I forgotten? Have I not forgotten? He is continuously anxious about it. that have I done the mantra or have I not done the mantra? Did I complete my 26 malas or not? After taking bath, I should not be wearing dry clothes, I should wear wet clothes. In the same wet clothes, I should do the puja. I should not eat without doing the puja and allow the sugar to build up. And all this, the Jnani, he is worried he can't remember the shlokas. Huh? I must study this, I must study that, I must finish all the literature of all the Upanishads, I must speak on all the Bhagavad Gita in my life, I must continue to keep speaking about it. Right? It's an addiction. It's an addiction. Just as a chaste wife does not leave her husband, these demonical persons longing for sense enjoyments suffer acute anxiety to secure them. If someone says, "Oh, we did the Alaskan cruise." "Oh, really? You did the Alaskan cruise? How was it?" "Oh, and you see the photographs." "Oh, I also want to go there." And you are after your husband, or the husband is after the wife. Or the children who are good for nothing are after their parents' money. "We want to go to Alaskan cruise. We want to go to Alaskan cruise." Why don't you work and then go? Because someone else went, they want to go. Because someone else went to Kailash, they want to go. See? If it was a inner calling, then you would have gone. They want everything to be fine. The children have gone into their university and they have enough money in the bank account, and then they will, when they have close to retirement, then they will go, when their body cannot handle it. But if the pull is there, if the devotion is there, if the urge is there, the calling is there, then go and finish it off. And these people who are copying someone else don't have the capacity to go, but they want to do what others have done, and continuously, day in and day out, they are only thinking about how to do this, or how to satisfy their, or tick their bucket list, satisfy their desires and tick the bucket list. That bucket list has become very popular after that movie. But nowhere in that bucket list it comes that I must ensure and be inspired to continuously contemplate on that one which is beyond the mind, that which is making this body, breath, mind, intellect function, on that Lord, on that Atma, on that Paramatma. This is never there in the bucket list. Bucket list is about, oh, I have covered the Asian continent, I have covered the Scandinavian, I have covered the Masai Mara, I have covered the Kalahari Desert, I have covered the Australia, New Zealand, I have covered the America. Oh, South America I haven't gone. Oh, well, I have to do that also. Then I have done the whole world. That has become the trend. Nobody is satisfied with themselves. Only when they do something, they become satisfied. If that is if it is happening naturally, great. But if we are becoming anxious that why we have not been able to do it, I want to do it now, with virus has become the obstacle in in fulfilling my desires. I don't know when I will be able to go, blah 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 blah, and that is leading to anger and irritation. I'm just taking example of travel. It can be anything. Today one girl was saying she works at the Apple store, and she says the Apple store has, suppose there is whatever staff they have decided that half the staff will come for 3 days and the rest 50% will come for the other 3 days. But overwork. But now she is observing, just now in the kitchen she was telling that people are more angry. Before they were patient. They don't even understand that we are half the staff on the floor. They want it and they scream and they shout. She says it was not like this before. This is her observation. See, are we going in that direction? Are we becoming like that? If we are, stop and take measure of yourself. So this unrestrained worry does not leave him. Majority of the people, if they are not dedicated to something higher and are extrovert, they are always worried about something or the other. That worry is what keeps them alive, keeps them going, keeps them striving, keeps them ambitious, keeps them setting new goalposts for themselves, and that we call success. Continuously worried, continuously anxious, continuously unsettled in the mind. Is that success? Or success is when under all circumstances we are at peace. जो होगा होगा, देखा जाएगा. This is what I have, these are what my means are, within those I will live my life. Why do I have to compare with anyone? See? Just as a chaste wife does not leave her husband, these demonical persons longing for sense enjoyments suffer acute anxiety to secure them. So whatever they have acquired in their life, they want to secure it. Continuously, there is one person I know, every night he will check his bank account, how much money is there. As if by looking at the bank account, the money is going to increase. As if by looking at the bank account, the money is going to increase. Once a month is okay. Every day. See? A person came and he said, he came and he said, Swamiji, I want to talk to you. I said, okay. He came. Swamiji, my 6 months probation is about to conclude in next few days, and my job is threatening me that if I don't listen to him, there is a possibility that he will not confirm make me a permanent employee. And I'm really worried. And my wife is working only 3 days a week. And you know, Swamiji, why I have come? Because whole day I was calculating how in 3 days work or whatever she gets the money, how will we survive in that money? I said, you spend the whole day in trying to work out how you will survive. You didn't spend the whole day thinking, okay, Where am I going wrong? Why the boss is talking like this? Or if there is no fault of mine, then okay, let me look for some new job. Worried. And then as the discussion went along, and he himself, we are just listen. And he himself is saying, once upon a time, I used to live my whole month after rent. I used to, in $750, I used to live in, used to be enough for living. Then I got some part-time job. Then I needed $1,200 a month to live because desires got increased. Then I got a permanent job. Then the expenses went up to 2,500. Then my wife got a job. Our expenses now, we earn about $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, and still now our expenses are $4,500, $5,000 per month. What do you spend on, bhaiya? So much? So you know how to live in $750. Go back to that. Go back down the how you evolved. Go back to the origin. So go back to being the monkey man rather than a human being. See. किसी ने मेरे को ऐसे someone sent me an SMS. In that SMS, first the how the chimpanzee slowly became the Neanderthal man, the Stone Age man. And the Stone Age man, he looks forward and he turns around. And the back one says, hey, why are you looking back? He says, if I become a human being, the life is going to be very difficult. Better I go back to being the chimpanzee. See? The more we have, the more security we want. If it has not been all that you have, if it has been acquired without integrity. See? They are fond of, here he says, where are we? Just as a chaste wife does not leave her husband, these demonical persons, materialistic persons, longing for sense enjoyments, suffer acute anxiety to secure them. They are fond of hearing the women sing, beholding their beauty, and clasping them in close embrace, and feel like throwing away nectar to gain this happiness. Nectar of the self, abidance in the self. They are ready to discard that. They don't even want to think about it. They don't even want to remember in the previous verses it came, anything about God, anything about divinity, they want to run 100 miles away from it. They become angry. Such people, if you bring the words God, Ram, Krishna, Jesus, they become angry. Why? They are secular, or they are communist. They are non-believers. For them, only their desires is what matters. See? They are fond of hearing the women sing, beholding their beauty, and clasping them in close embrace, and feel like throwing away nectar to gain this happiness. They are fully convinced that there is no happiness which is greater than what one receives from a woman. These are the people who say, oh, I don't want to realize without my soulmate, Pathetic. And I have been to such yoga studios and ashrams also, where men and women both are there. And these people, arm in arm, sitting next to each other, arm in arm. No, if I realize I will be in meditation only when she is in meditation, or she says only when he is in, we want to raise our energy together. See? Such caricatures are there. In the name of yoga, in the name of meditation, all this is going on. See? What was I doing there? Question आ रहा होगा मन में. I was giving the lecture. I was not sitting with someone. Don't worry. But soulmate, every life I'll be with you. Arey, life itself is ephemeral. It's temporary. Only spirit is real. But for them, the attraction of the opposite sex, and that's what they live for. They surrender all their entire being, their all desires at the feet of the opposite. To be in their arms, they are at home. To eat their food, they are at home. To be in their embrace, they are at home. To get scolding from the opposite, they are at home. Strikes a chord. अब लगता है, now it feels that I am at home, you know. I was feeling I was missing something. What was I missing? The scolding from the wife I was missing. See, such are the Asuri traits, the demonical traits, where attention is only on the opposite. The desire is only for the opposite. The desire fulfillment in the world is only so that you can be with the opposite. And they are fully convinced that there is no happiness which is greater than what one receives from a woman. See? No other option for them. And that is why in our Puranas you will see all the Asuras are like that only. See, even when India was attacked by the Muslims, for 900 years they kept coming. And initially when they came only, they didn't come to rule the country. They knew it was a very rich country. So then what would they do? It will be a targeted attack. They will come, they will loot the town, they will abuse the girls and take away the young ones with them. And for 10 years, 5 years, they will go away. Then again one day they will come. Again they will fill up their coffers. No respect. And this is what is happening in every society. Today you look at America, you look at India, you look at Australia, you look at Africa. Everywhere you look at news. Everything is negative, 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 negative. Nowhere in the news you get any creative, something good that is happening in the world, you will never hear in the news. Only what is going wrong, how someone has molested, how someone has stolen, how someone has murdered, how someone has taken the drugs, how someone has was caught while transporting the drugs, how they were caught drunk and drive. Is that all the news that there is? Is there nothing positive in the society? And we have also, because we listen to the media all the time, we are being brainwashed into thinking in that way, in that direction. We are losing our soul. Because in all of us there is some goodness. And that is why in this chapter it was told, concentrate, focus upon the good qualities that are inherent within us, within our mind. Don't go after the world. I told you a few days ago in one of the classes in this chapter only that according to yoga, what species you are going to be born in. So right now you are born in a human species. How many breaths you are going to take in this lifetime, and what bhogas, what experiences are going to come your way. It's all predetermined. See? So let it happen. You put all your energy towards the higher. But no, these asuras, for them, no. Satisfaction of their desire, satisfaction of their fulfillment of their desires and passions, and to be in the arms and being accepted by the opposite sex, that is paramount. To secure that happiness, they are ever ready to go to heaven, the nether world or beyond the quarters. So see, these terrorists, why they are killing, why they are blowing themselves up? Because when they go to heaven, there the angels are waiting for them to please them. That is the carrot that is being given to these terrorists. And if they are falling a prey to that, which means what is their belief system? They are ready to kill other people, wreak havoc in a society. Look at Afghanistan, look at what you call in Iraq. See? They are ready to wreak havoc in a society to enjoy in the afterlife. Pathetic. You have not enjoyed here, you are ready to sacrifice your life here. You don't know what is in the future. Just because someone has told you that if you die for this cause, you will go to heaven, and there the damsels are waiting to satisfy every desire of yours. And you don't have to, not one, not two, so many will be there. So they are ready to commit that sacrifice. This human birth, which is so precious, we are ready to sacrifice at the altar of opposite sex. We are ready to sacrifice this birth at the mercy of desires for the objects. Please think and rethink. Which direction is our life going? Is it going to give us the satisfaction, the fulfillment, the contentment of being if we continue to pursue the path that we have chosen? See? We are lost in gardening, we are lost in cleaning the house, we are lost in making sure that the toilet is clean, the kitchen is clean. What about the mind? House is spick and span, clothes are spick and span, garden is beautiful arrangement of flowers. How about arranging your mind beautifully? How about arranging your thoughts beautifully? We are worried about our dog's pedigree. Is it a pure breed or it's a mixed breed? Or no, I want only pure breed. But when it comes to humans coming together with humans, man and girl, boy and girl coming together, There it doesn't matter. I don't believe in whether she is from an educated family, or she is from a drunkard father, or she is from a thief's daughter or a thief's person, son. No, I don't care. I don't believe in all that is superstition. Where has that superstition gone when it comes to a dog's pedigree? Is it a pure breed or not? See? So life is going dogwards, not godwards. This is the Asuric mentality. This is the Asuric mentality. The dog must have the food at correct time. But human beings, live on junk food. No nourishment, no proper nourishing food, no fresh food. Straight from the fridge into the microwave, then out, and then into the tummy. To secure that happiness, they are ever ready to go to the heaven, the nether worlds, or beyond the quarters, wherever, whichever world, if someone promises them that this is where, if you do this, you will get to enjoy you'll get all your passions fulfilled there. They are ready to do anything for that. Such is the trait of an Asuric person, a materialist person. We are not talking about that anyone who has wealth is a materialist. No. Janak Maharaj, the father of Mother Sita, Ramchandraji's wife, he was a king, living in the midst of the wealth, but a realized master. Not caught up in fulfilling his desires just because he has the money. Sita, who was born in such a fantastic, plentiful environment, she was an integrated person. Ram was an integrated person. Are we integrated from within? Integration can come about only when our mind is contemplating on that which is beyond the mind. Call it Ishvara or call it the Atma or Paramatma. But if our mind is thinking, contemplating, desiring something from this world, then it is not able to integrate itself. It breaks up. One desire leads to next desire, leads to next desire, leads to next desire. And before you know, you are in its clutches. Then all this anxiety, sleeplessness, lust, passion for more and more and more and more. Any way, which way you can. Continuing, he says in the 12th verse, Asha pasha shatair baddhaha, Asha pasha shatair baddhaha, Kama krodha parayanaha, Kama krodha parayanaha, Ihante kama bhogartham, Ihante kama bhogartham, अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान् अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान् आशापाशशतैर्बद्धाः कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान्. It says, bound by 100 ties of hope, given wholly to passion and anger, they seek for the sake of sensual gratification to amass wealth by unlawful means. And here when we say sensual gratification, it does not mean only the opposite sex. Oh, When you desire something that you see, if you like someone else's dress, oh, where did you buy it? Oh, I want to do that. If you listen to some beautiful music, immediately the thought, oh, where did you get that music? I want to get that music. Which shop did you buy it from? By whom is it? If you have tasted something nice, oh, how is it made? You see, the ladies are always discussing only the recipes. They want to be one up than the other one. They want to make it again better than them. Or, oh, no, I have never made it like this. I want to make it. What competition? Is there nothing better in life other than only desiring what you see, hear, touch, feel, taste? And if that is not enough, then we revel. We desire to relive our memories again and again and again and again by opening our what do you call albums and videos from the past. Understand, ego is equal to total past. The more you indulge in what has already happened, you are concretizing the ego. We have to refrain from talking about our past under any circumstance. Go to the toilet if someone asks you about your past. Don't ask anyone about their past. Don't talk about your past. Don't ruminate. We are sitting free. Oh, what were those days when love is in the air? What were those days when we were in the 70s in the school? We used to dance on the Beatles music and the Bee Gees music. This is all the talk that I am getting on my school group. That's how I am remembering it. I don't want to leave it because they will feel bad. But at this age, now they are 56, 57 years old, all they can think about whole day, every day I get about 250, 300 messages. And all they are talking about is, oh, this teacher was like that teacher was like this teacher gave me a slap, that teacher screamed me like this. And what were the teachers? Without teachers we are nothing. No doubt. But how much you are going to remember? Then that teacher topic goes away. Then how we put sodium chloride in the toilet and we burst into a flame and we all were suspended. Then how in the school, in the concert, at the year end, we danced on this. We used to bunk classes and go to movies. Again and again and again and again we are remembering that only. As if at least now learn. The best friend that we have in our life is our own self. But in Kali Yuga, I'm using that word purposely. In Kali Yuga, the best friend is another person, not your own self. So friendship is very important in Kali Yuga. Relatives, father, mother are not important. Friend is more important. You are ready to sacrifice the parents for the sake of the friend. Bound by 100 ties of hope, given wholly to passion and anger, they seek for the sake of sensual gratification to amass wealth by unlawful means. Dhaneshwar Maharaj says, Amisha kavalu thori asha na vicharita gilimasa taise kije vishayasha tayansi ga vanchita tavana pavati मग कोरडियेची आशेची संतती वाढहू वाढहू होती केश किडे आणि पसरिला अभिलाषू अपूर्णू होय तोची द्वेषू एवं काम क्रोधाहुनी अधिकू पुरुषार्थू नाही दिहा खोलणे रात्री जागोवा ठाणा ठाणा तरी या जैसा पांडवा अहोरात्री ही विसावा भेटे ना. Just as the fish swallows without thought the hook for the sake of the bait, sexual desire makes them reckless. Who? These materialistic people, these passionate people, these object oriented people, these opposite sex oriented people, these senses oriented people. Sexual desire makes them reckless. We should change sexual to sensual. Sensual can be even what I taste, what I see, what I hear, what I touch. It includes everything. If they do not succeed in securing their objects of desire, they go on spinning futile hopes like the silkworm who spins a web around itself. See, today we are living in a society, I don't know when it started, 18th century, 17th century, when it was, who was this? Freudian. The Freudian model of psyche is accepted by the Western world. And according to Freud, the only reason the humanity is together is because of sex. That's all that he could think of after observation of various species. And he thought all that the various species are doing, humans are also one of the species, so whatever. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but this is what I have heard. See? So that model, that every motivation is only for the opposite sex, and that is what is motivating people to produce, people to become creative, people to go out of their beyond their means, beyond their limits, to do whatever is required to be done. But it's a false model. It doesn't even there is no place in it for some higher power. It's only at the body level. It's only at the copulation level. If they do not succeed, whenever our desires do not succeed, what happens? We become angry. And then because we don't take responsibility, we start finding who is the person who has become an obstacle in fulfilling my desire. And then you dislike that person, you hate that person, eventually you want to take revenge on that person and teach him a lesson. And that is what is told here, that if they do not succeed in securing their objects of desire, they go on spinning futile hopes, asha pasha. Their hopes themselves they get entangled within their hopes, as if they keep desiring, and then they get caught up in the maze of desires, and they are unable to find a way out of their mind and see everything clearly. We come across so many people, they get caught up in their family life so much that they stop having a outside view of their family. They are so caught up in it that they are unable to think clearly. They get caught up in the work so much You must have all experienced it. When it becomes too much, you're not finding a solution. What do? You just stop everything, go for a walk, come back, and suddenly the solution is staring at you. So we have to give mind also some rest. And just like a silkworm spins the cocoon around himself and gets trapped inside, exactly the same way we weave a cocoon in our own mind of our desire, of the thread of desires, and that is our personality. See? And we are unable to see the bigger picture. Such people are the Charvak philosophy. Material existence, that is the truth. Here and now, story over. Enjoy, make merry, enjoy, fulfill your desires. Who knows from where I came? Who knows where I am going to go? Let's finish it off. This is one of those type. Then it says, if their desire is thwarted, it turns into hatred, and then they think that the human life has no other worthy end than the fulfillment of desire and anger. Such people are only at any cost moving around in the world to fulfill their desires, and to fulfill their desire they have to be in power, in control. And how do you, such people are always barking at others. If their voice is louder, they are stronger, they feel. Or simmering, some people have become smart. Such people, outside they show everything is hunky-dory, but inside there is a volcano of anger waiting to erupt. And that anger comes out on the children, or on the wife, or on the parents, or on the near and dear ones. But at the workplace, he's the best person. Why? He's moving ahead in his success story. He is an ideal for everyone. See? Like a watchman who has to keep a watch during the day and do the patrolling by night, they do not get any rest. Rest only such a person gets who is at peace with himself. Who is at peace with himself or herself? He who has not to lesser the desires, more is the peace. More is the desire, the mind is in pieces. Even more the desires, mind is in depression. Even more, suicide. Like a watchman who has to keep a watch during the day and do the patrolling by night, so this mind is also continuously doing the patrol, taking care if his desires are going to be fulfilled during the day, and at night he is contemplating on them. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to invest here. I hope my darling is not going away with someone else. Always suspicious, always trying to keep everything in control. Just like religion, Religion also keeps the masses under control. How? Guilt and fear. So this fellow is also, he's learned the trick from the godmen only. They do not get any rest. Such a person is a workaholic. He wants to one project after next project after next project. One person one day came to Bhagavad class and he said, Swamiji, can I take photograph of you? I said, take it. How does it matter to me? So I was giving lecture, he took a photograph and he took a small video clip. And I don't know who these people are. But then went to the Multicultural Commission, he had an organization, some name, and got money that I'm sponsoring these classes. And they want to build a temple, huh? They want to build a temple, and these are the type of acts that they are involved in. If he had asked me face to face, would I have refused? No. Many years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, we did a big Havan here, Mrityunjay Havan. That time also, same person. About 2,000, 3,000 people came, took part in the Havan. And after 6 months, he had taken the photographs, he put those photographs, I supported this whole event and got the money from the Multicultural Commission. See the hypocrisy, the lust for money, the lust for money. In the name of reconciliation, even more atrocities are being committed on the originals of this country. Reconciliation. No lasting effect. In every meeting they say, oh, there is tolerance. Who are you? Are you there to tolerate the other people? Or are you here to accept them as they are? Tolerance. See? This is the hypocrisy that in the garb of a religious person, these are the type of actions the religion mets out. They are not, such people are not God men. They are asuras. We'll stop here. We'll continue from 341st verse next week. It's already time. Too much, no? About the asuric vritti, about the demonical traits. My God, that also is in me. That I behave like that. Oh, I behave like that. Oh, I behave like that. So are we spiritual oriented or are we demonical oriented? Oh my God, it's a wake up call. This is a call not to assess others. All these traits are given. They are good and bad are always there in everyone. These are being told so that we are alert and do not get latched on by them and start living for these type of traits, so that we can be careful in our own daily dealings, in our thinking. See? And that is why it is told that to cultivate negative thoughts, it's very easy. But to cultivate good thoughts, it takes a long time. A new good habit takes a long time. But to drop good one and catch the bad one, it's a 1 second job. How come? This is how. Because naturally, because I'm going away from the topic here, but pertinent, because we are considering ourselves to be this physical body, and because of this body we have relationship with other bodies, therefore we are gross oriented, and gross is tamasic. Tamas expresses in our life as nidra, alasya, pramad, sleep, procrastination, laziness, inadvertence. It is natural. This attraction towards the sense objects, it's natural because we are identified with the form. So we are automatically, we desire forms, and it takes a humongous focus, energy, commitment, patience, abhyas, practice, to wean yourself from the clutches of inertia, from the clutches of objectivity, and shift the direction of your mind towards that which is transcendental. And it requires lot of patience, it requires lot of faith, it requires lot of commitment, continuous one. One day you slip, again you are back there. So all these demonical traits are told so that knowledge is power. When we know that these are the possibilities, if I go in that direction, I can become as they have explained. So I choose, now I know, I will be alert, I will be vigilant in my mind to whatever is going on, and keep my mind ever dedicated towards the divine. With that thought, we conclude today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for half a minute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.